Okay, everybody, hello and welcome back to InstaSpeedathon 2022. We're on day 2, we're on part 2, and we're going to be watching Portal 2. So this will be the Portal 2 no inbound, inbounds, no SLA, and that's the one. We've got a race today by Jaio and Fridge. Now, yesterday's race, the Lord of the Rings race, didn't quite go to plan because I couldn't quite get the thing to set up properly, but I think we've kind of got it working now, which is good. So hopefully we can at least get a race into InstaSpeedathon 2022 that works. So Jaio and Fridge, I'm going to ask you guys to introduce yourselves in a moment and also to introduce your commentators. But before we do that, don't forget everybody, we're obviously doing this as a charity event for EveryoneCan. And if you would like to donate, we do have a Tiltify link. There's the EveryoneCan logo down in the panels below. That if you click that, that will take you to the Tiltify page for the fundraiser. Our goal by the end of the marathon, of course, is £750. By the end of today, I want us to raise £250 for EveryoneCan. If we can get to £250 before the end of today, that would be absolutely incredible. And it all goes to a fantastic cause. They do so much work and they help out so many people. Don't forget, we've also got some incentives left as well. So there is an incentive for play levels 0 to 10 on high speed. That's for the Dr. Mario GB 0 to 20 run. That's on Monday. That's currently raised £15. But we need 35 more pounds to see that. So if you guys want to see that, be sure to put your donations in as well. We've also got some polls, and each of these games are actually happening tomorrow. So we've got the Hello Kitty Cruisers All Tours Items Run, which is the character selection poll. So you guys can choose which character is played. At the moment, there's a split between Kuromi and Hello Kitty. So if you want to boost either one of them, then please go ahead and do so. Or you can choose a completely different character and change the course of that poll completely. We've also got Save or Kill the Animals of Super Metroid Ascent at 100%. Currently, Save the Animals is winning at £25. But if you guys also want to change that, then of course you can do that. Or you can boost the save and make sure that it wins. And also we've got the difficulty select on the Pipposari 2001 run. At the moment, Expert is winning with £15. So guys, don't forget to go and donate. I'll be posting a link periodically in the chat, and some of us other moderators will be doing that as well. So please go and donate. We've also got merchandise. Again, down in the panels below, you can see photos of the mugs that we have available. We have duck mugs, and we've got the InstaSpeedathon mug, and 50% of the profits from those merch sales will go to EveryoneCan as well. And we do have international shipping, so if you don't live in the UK, then that's not a problem. We can ship them internationally. So, Jaio, Fridge, the floor now goes to you. If you want to introduce yourselves, introduce the run, give me a countdown of when you want to start, and we'll get started. And then we'll sort out what we do at the end.
Alright. Hello. I'm Jaio. With me without a face cam is Fridge.
Hi.
We got two commentators. The one on the bottom left is base driven.
That's me. I hang out. And of course, with me in the booth is Infrared, and we'll be taking you through the run here today.
All right. So
it technically counts as a face cam, right?
That's close enough.
Yeah.
So timing is going to be. We're both going to unpause from the game, and it'll be a few seconds, and then time will start when we gain control of our character. So. Refrigerate on pause. I'll do a countdown for when the actual timer starts, but refrigerate on pause.
Yeah, ready.
All right. So this won't be the one that starts the timer, but 3, 2, 1, unpause. And time will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start.
Well, it's fantastic to have all of you here today. Of course, on the left side of your screen, you're going to see Jaio. He has his face cam up. And of course, this is going to be about an hour-ish long run. Normally, we count this as more of an in-game time kind of situation. Normally we look at it more frequently. But what we're doing right here is essentially the 5-minute cutscene at the beginning of the run. Real time, this ends up being actually around an hour-ish if you're at a higher level. Mainly because what we do in regular runs is the container ride save. This skips this whole cutscene. You can see it's, you look at the ceiling and you press E a couple times, then you essentially just sit there for 4 or so minutes. And so I don't do that in actual runs because it's a waste of our time. We do it here in marathons, especially because there's enough to explain. You know, some of the things that we're going to be primarily looking at are, of course, movement tech. Some of the things that we can discuss, at least even here in the container ride while we're waiting, you know, are some of the things that you're going to be seeing a lot in the run. You can see Fridge right now just running around in circles, right, jumping everywhere. What he's doing are called circle jumps, and that's a great way to gain momentum in a forward direction from still. But to expect work, we first need to like for the fundamental of movement. When you're walking forwards, of course, you're going at about 175 units a second. That's not important. You don't need to know how fast that actually is. It's just 175. When you turn, and you're holding W at the same time, or whatever your forward key is, when you turn at the same time, you actually gain a little bit more momentum. You're strafing. And so you end up with more momentum than what you started with. Now, air strafing is the air version of that when you're turning in the air without holding W. But when you're air strafing, you gain a whole lot of momentum. And of course, you can see right now our runners are banging their heads into Wheatley, who will be a regular character in the speedrun. If you're a fan of Wheatley, you'll no doubt see him a few more times in the speedrun at the very least. But those... that air strafing movement, combined with mashing jump as fast as you can, enables runners to keep that momentum going in a straight line. And so, of course, that's the bunny hopping mechanic. You'll see that in a lot of Source games, especially this one. Some other Source games from earlier on have different builds that allow you to backwards bunny hop, otherwise known as ABHing or accelerated bunny or accelerated back hopping, which you can't really do a whole lot of in Portal 2, but you can try. Same kind of movement, but of course you're just going to be looking for those strafes, and of course that circle jump that you're seeing right there is just an amalgamation of jumping and taking as much strafing movement off the ground as you can to start an air strafe and get into bunny hopping. Now, normally, this explanation takes me a lot longer when I'm doing it for myself, mainly because I have to explain it all while I'm doing it, but for the next about minute or so, you know, you can just watch Jaio and Fridge kind of run around and really, like, understand fully why they're doing it, how they're doing it, and why they're going so fast. It looks like sometimes they're going to get thrown around a little bit. That's just them going fast. They're doing all the movement that they can, and pretty soon we'll end up in the actual level part of Container Ride, where, wouldn't you guess it, you have to wait for another 45 seconds.
We'll start remembering
this. Sorry. Fun fact: during this entire length of this cutscene, you can't crouch.
That's true. That's true.
Which will be an important thing later.
Yeah, that as well.
Oh, by the way, to end the timer, just shout your favorite flavor of pie. Just let me know which one corresponds to who.
I prefer Tau.
Tau? Tau pie, okay. So who's Tau pie?
Bad math joke.
I'll yell cake, because pie is overrated.
Okay, Frage is cake, Jaio is pie, okay?
Sure.
Good enough.
Good enough. You can
Say
see both of our
time
runners
and then
make it into the chamber down below here. Of course, they're going to go for one of the very first, well, I call it an optimization. You can get the clipboard into the toilet here, or play Tetris, right? This is a custom feature in the in our native speedrunning plugin, helpfully built by, well, several people, including but not limited to Mlug, Blenderist, Nex, Kersey Howe, AMJ does a lot of PRs on that, yeah, and of course Rainbow Phoenix, who is responsible for Sartris, as we call it there. SAR, of course, is our speedrunning plugin. We're going to be taking a lot of cues from there. There's, of course, a big old timer in the corner of both of our runners' screens. That's going to be showing the total in-game time for both of our runners. And of course, it enables us to see more precise angles. Some tricks you'll see later in the run are going to be precise to a thousandth of a degree of a coordinate. And so we're really going to focus on being really precise on those fronts. We're coming through Portal Carousel right now, which is the first map where we start talking about elevator dialogues. Now, normally, a lot of the time, you'll see a runner stop in front of an elevator, just like Fridge is doing, and just like Jaio is going to do at some juncture. Right there, they're waiting for a dialogue cue so they can go into the elevator and have the level transition as fast as they can. It's kind of like the bus analogy from the Super Mario World, is or similar, where the level transition only runs every now and again, and some maps have more precise level transitions than others. Some you can just go on straight in, and some don't even have specific level transitions. There's one that's controlled by the player, otherwise it is all just controlled by the elevator.
Can you be quiet here for this?
And then we have another dialogue skip, or sort of a skip. Again, you need to wait for Wheatley to say a specific line of his dialogue, so that the second sentence of Wheatley's dialogue can interrupt the announcer, saving around 7 seconds, I believe, if you get
That
it
was
first
a gold,
right.
by the way, on my splits.
Gaming. So yeah, pretty much every single map in the game is going to have some form of dialogue, so we're not just going to go straight in.
And that's the case with a lot of this. The trick you're going to see right here from Fridge, at least hopefully, and at least from Jaio, but it looks like our runners are going to have a little bit of difficulty, is utilizing portal bubbles. In short, that allows, if you have an object that you're holding within a portal bubble, and you have another object, say a door, within the confines of each other, you can actually phase objects through one another. So that's why that cube through that door works. You'll see that again, hopefully in Bridge Intro, a map in Chapter 3, where we do a cube through glass kind of situation. And what you're seeing here and in the next level is, of course, one of the more useful kinds of technology, even though we don't use it a whole lot farther in the game. It's called a portal stand. Now, what you're going to do here, right, you're going to look at them, and as you come into this level, you can watch either runner do this. They're going to stand in a portal, and they're going to back right out of it, so that they can make it all the way to the other side. And then, of course, just like the previous map, they're going to do a second portal stand to make it, to put the cube on the other side of the portal and then grab that cube while it's falling. That just saves a little bit of hassle for going and running after it and, figuring out what you need to do. Looks like both of our runners are on pretty similar paces. Of course, this is Chapter 1, so we're not going to see a lot of variation. Chapter 1 is, of course, it being the first part of a run, it's going to be one that you see more of when you are practicing. Now, one of the more interesting strats here you're going to see in Pancake Shot, which I will let Infrared take a bit at.
As Base just said during Container Ride, I believe, this is one of the most precise shots in the game. I believe it's to the 1/100th of a degree where you need to look. So you can definitely see on Fridge.
It is.
You definitely see on Fridge's side of the screen in the middle. That's his coordinates and his angles. You need those up for the entire game for multiple tricks you're going to do. Fridge has it in the dead center of the screen because of reasons. But most people usually have it in the corner. If it's that way I'm pointing, I don't know. But yeah, that is actually a gap in the model of that door. So that is very, very small. I believe it's like 0.4 of a unit, also known as very, very small. So very specific coordinates, very specific angle, and you can go through.
That's true. And despite it being that small, it's not a seam shot. That's a different thing entirely.
Yeah, we'll get to those later.
We will talk about that later.
We'll see
similar technique, different mechanics behind the game. I think we're going to see two of them.
Maybe widely different. Right now we're in Wake Up, which of course is another great excuse to play some Sartreus, but it's also a great excuse to remind everyone watching of, first of all, our donation goals. By the end of the day, we're supposed to be raising about £250 for the EveryoneCan Foundation. Now, I'm American. I don't know specifically what a pound is, but I know we want to have 250 of them. Our donation link is out in the chat if very interested in doing that. Otherwise, it is a great excuse for those of you just joining us to remind you of what you're watching. Right now, you're watching Portal 2 Inbound's No SLA. Your runners are Fridge and Jaio, both pretty respectable runners at the level that they're at. And right now, you're also watching Jaio play Tetris on Portal 2. Helpfully made by several people in our community. I'm base driven. I've been doing this for a long time. And with me in the booth here is Infrabred, who's also been doing this for a while.
And on Fridge's screen, we have the most important character of the game. That is Hoopy the Hoop. Say hello to Hoopy.
Hi, Hoopy. Want to say hi, Hoopy? I don't know how it is.
Hi, Hoopy.
Yeah, this is a 2-minute cutscene. We have not much to do. Apart from
the only reason why I'm not watching the cutscene is because it's easier to see the Tetris board.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
If we have 2 minutes of downtime, are we able to do a sort of like donation shout-out thingy-majiggy?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Sure, excellent. Well, we don't have any new donations in, but if anyone who does want to donate, I have just posted the link in the chat, actually. It's on the Tiltify, and all donations go to EveryoneCan. EveryoneCan, they're a fantastic charity. They're based in Manchester, in the United Kingdom, and they basically help disabled people to play games. They've got a gaming centre there in Manchester. We were supposed to be streaming from there over this weekend, but unfortunately that wasn't able to happen for various different reasons, COVID being one of them, and there was also other issues in the background as well. However, we are still supporting them. They are a really great charity. We've raised so much money for them in the past, and I want us to raise even more money for them today. So if we can get to £250 by the end of the day, that'll be absolutely fantastic. We've raised £145 so far, which is absolutely incredible. So I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's donated so far. And don't forget to add an incentive to your donation as well. It doesn't cost anything extra to add an incentive, but it does mean that you can change the course of someone else's run completely, which can only lead to even more fun. So do consider doing that, because it might be it can really change something that someone might have learned at some point. So again, the link will be posted periodically in the chat. So please go and donate if you can, and every little really does help.
That's true. Jaio, unfortunately, with a weaker Tetris finish than we're used to seeing him with. Of course, coming out of Wake Up, and we're coming out of the back of Chapter 1 here. Both runners actually having a little bit of difficulty hopping over these pieces of debris here, but it looks like a pretty respectable Chapter 1 for both runners. Looks like we're going to see about a 13:27 for Fridge and a 13:33 for Jaio, both completely decent times and only within 6 seconds of each other, which, I mean, in terms of a race, you kind of want to see. Unfortunately, Fridge taking the harder route here, and of course Jaio's going to make up that time right here on that reset alone.
One thing you should know about portals is they cannot they cannot be placed on moving surfaces, and that trick specifically, if you fire the portal just early enough, you can do that flick that Jaio did first try. But after that, what Fridge did is the panel will move and not be able to have a portal placed on it for, I think, 7 or 8 seconds. So getting that first try is
somewhere around 6 or 7.
It is quite a sizable chunk of time anyway, especially in the context of a shorter level like that. There is, of course, one spot in the game where you can put portals on movable surfaces. It's neurotoxin sabotage. We'll get to that later. But when you see it happen, you'll just notice it, and you'll be like, that's the map where you can place portals on moving surfaces, because you can't do it anywhere else.
You can't do it anywhere else, but it looks cool, so Valve kept it in.
Yeah, fair enough.
Try going through dual lasers here, unfortunately not pulling off that laser switch glitch.
I was going to explain that, but if you
can go for it. That's your job.
Nice. Laser switch glitch is a glitch with switches that involves lasers. We're good at naming stuff. What you saw both of those runners do is activate one of the lasers with a portal and standing up backwards against the door and then firing a portal. So that for one frame, or one tick, there's a difference, but I'm not going to get into that. Both lasers are active, and so that means the dialogue is going to activate as well for the ending lift, or elevator, whichever you prefer. And because you are holding S onto a door, the door will immediately open. So that's 2 tricks in 1. We're going to use laser switch glitch, I think, 2 more times throughout the run, 1 or 2.
One thing that Empress said about ticks versus frames, Portal 2 runs at 60 at 60 ticks per second asterisk. I'm playing at a 144 hertz monitor. I'm not sure what Fridge is playing at, but Portal 2 runs at 60 ticks per second, so most physics calculations are done by that.
Yeah, very,
if it was
very
done by
simply.
framed, it would be all over the place depending on how fast we're going. Right now we're going through Catapult Intro, which only has one interesting dialogue thing. If you put the camera on that button, you're going to get a dialogue that goes faster, and it's very, very long. So it's really important to get that on there as fast as they possibly can. That's weird.
Okay. Sure. Don't know what happened there.
That's never happened before.
Yeah, I put the cube on the button and the door did not open.
Yeah. Now, what you saw in Laser Overview, again, 2 maps ago now, we're going to go into Trust Fling here, and you're going to see a little bit of movement, but nothing too interesting, so I can talk about this. What you saw in Laser Overview was 2 different strategies. Fridge, over on his side of the screen, ended up doing a little trick called Wet Maker, mainly called that because it makes you wet. But also because... But also, it's a difficult trick, right? You're supposed to do a circle jump and what's called a reportal. And what a reportal is, it's gonna... While you're inside a wall, if you shoot another portal, you're gonna get an extra 200 unit velocity boost. Again, you don't need to know how fast 200 units is. You just need to know that it makes you get more momentum.
I'm sorry to disturb you guys here, but I just need to shout out Trick Surf because he just donated £105.
Let's go,
Trick! That's my guy.
Big man. That's his college money.
So that puts us up to £250.
There you go.
That was easy.
So we made it to £250. Thank you, Trick Surf. That is incredible. The comment he said was yo. So £105 just to say yo.
Fair enough.
But no, thank you so much for that. That also goes towards the play level 0 to 10 on high speed for the Dr. Mario run. So we've reached that target. And also goes towards saving the animals in Super Metroid as well. So that currently has raised £130 in total. So if anyone wants to kill the animals, then that means they'll need a minimum donation of £131.
Do the thing, please.
So yeah. Well, thank you so much for that donation. I was not expecting that, to be fair. And I do apologize for butting in there. I think that's just... That one is worth butting in for, I think. So thank you very much for that donation. It's greatly appreciated, and EveryoneCan can do so much with that. So I just want to say a huge thank you on behalf of EveryoneCan.
Yes. And of course, there's always an excuse to talk about reportals later in the game. Right now, we're on a map that doesn't involve a whole lot of those. What you'll see is, in fact, another dialogue skip. There's a box in the ceiling that kind of triggers a dialogue, and normally you have to go up on the faceplate and then back down, and then it's broken, and then you got to go back up and back down again. And we can skip that by hitting the trigger, crouching, hitting the trigger again, and then on the way down, uncrouching so that we hit the trigger a 3rd time, which makes every other point moot on that. So you don't only have to go up that one time, and it saves about 40 to 45 seconds, depending on how fast you do it.
There's a lot of ugly text on the top right of my screen. That's the console output. When I did the trick at the start of the map, you were able to see a ton of red text, a ton of red errors, and that's how I know that I actually got the dialogue skips.
So error means good for this one map. Yeah. And now we're going to see, and now we have a very fun map in my splits when I run the game. This map is called This Map Sucks, because it does. What we're going to see on, actually both of these runners now, is called a cube bounce. The cube is going to hit that laser, it's going to move the panel out of the way, and then we're going to do that. So, very short what that means. Didn't get the cube throw, hate to see it. Oh, you did. Nice. I'm slow.
Yeah, he's good.
That is a cube bounce. Because we have the momentum going forward, we can grab the cube, then let go of it, so that our body hits the faith plate, bounces us back, but our body hits the cube, that stops all our forward momentum and just hits us up. You could either get that first try or 27th. There's no in between. That's why that map sucks.
And there's a few maps that are they have more difficult tricks like that. That's one of the more tamer ones. We're going to come up on a map next. That's a little more difficult. Of course, this is that cube through glass thing I was talking about. Looks like Fridge narrowly got it, and it looks like Jaio
I didn't
went for
do
it
it
there as well. Yeah.
Well, either way, you need to wait for dialogue, so it doesn't really matter.
Yes. But it does start the dialogue earlier, so.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yes, we're going to end up going into Bridge the Gap here. It is called that mainly because there are several gaps that you have to bridge. One is between the entrance and the door to the chamber. What you're going to see here is both of our runners taking some pretty quick hops and a relatively nice pattern to try and get through the door. Looks like Jaio got it here. And then there's a second gap that Jaio's going to be crossing here. Then there's a third gap all the way down below that's going to happen here. Fridge, of course, is going to go for this cooler strat, which, honestly, I think it's cooler, and it's faster in most senses. Looks like it took a few tries to do it, but compared to even the quickest default route there, you're looking at only a 2-3 second difference after failing it a few times. It is very cool to pull off, and it's also relatively difficult if you don't shoot in the right places.
And the route that Fridge used also uses a reportal to get that extra slight speed boost, so you can make that gap without actually having to use the bridge to bridge the gap.
Yep.
Because that's slow.
Yeah, unfortunately not getting this pulling off. Gonna try it a few times.
How he stand?
Yeah.
That's a joke no one's gonna get.
12.
How we stand on 10 perk? That's a joke no one's gonna get. I'm just gonna ignore that.
Of course, both of our runners are laser relays here. You can see on Jaio's screen on that end of your screen. This is one of our simpler chambers. You just kind of go for it. What Fridge is going to do here is a little trick. It doesn't lose you time if you try for it. It's one of the tricks that we found recently. It's called a camera boost. You're going to use that camera off the wall to get...
I lost a good amount of time there from the laser cube not activating any of the laser relays, which is upside.
Yeah, I was going to mention, in this chamber specifically, the dialogue is so unreasonably long that you can make mistakes, but apparently you're just that bad.
Looks like damage boost not working out here for Jaio. Just going to have to jump at the right time.
There
it makes
we
it
go.
that third try.
Ooh.
He's going to miss that portal. Not a big deal. Going to make that like he needs to. Do a quick turnaround to keep out of the way. Not doing the 1 second optimization here, but I don't blame him.
I got really lucky there. That should have rolled off.
Yeah, that should have fallen off. You're right.
Really should. That was so close.
I have a surprise waiting for you after this next test. Telling you it's spoiled.
Yeah, the rest of this maps in Chapter 3 are pretty basic. They're all mostly just do the chamber with maybe a slight time save. There's no really any broken maps aside from after Bridge the Gap.
Yeah, a lot of the time save in these maps just comes from movement, that is bunny hopping and air strafing. That is very, very important to at least understand how to do when it comes to Portal, anything in the Source engine, really.
Mm-hmm.
So, movement. Even on simple chambers like this, you can save like a full 2 seconds just by being good at bunny hopping.
Mm-hmm. But
Over like a
I'd argue,
35-second
especially
map
in
or so.
those maps like
I
that,
forgot
where,
the numbers, I'm just making something up.
especially in maps like that, where it's not necessarily as skill-based as much as it is, if you're better at the movement, you're just going to be faster because that's all it is you're moving in a straight line through the map. Of course, this was Pull the Rug, and you're going to look at, we're coming out of Chapter 3 here. We're going into Chapter 4. And this first map in Chapter 4 is called Column Blocker. Now, you can kind of guess why it's called that. It's because you block things with columns. But the things that we're going to do in this chamber do not actually involve any columns, unless one of you is going to be trying to pull off the oop skip, which would make your run invalid.
Fred, just a question. Do you have your splits open?
I do.
Where are you? How green are you?
I call on blocking. I don't know. I have them set to none.
Yeah, I'm chilling at a minus 1 minute 30 right now.
Okay.
Okay.
What a gamer, let's do that. Come on. That's how we do it.
My
That's
early
how we
game
roll.
has literally a minute of time save. That I'm probably going to be losing a chunk of in this chamber.
Yeah.
Probably. There's always the triple kill.
Yeah.
Now, the
What
first
you're
half
gonna-
of this map. Now, the first
for
half
it.
of this map is relatively straightforward. It's mostly intended just a bit fast with bunny hopping. But now we have a thing called the Jerry skip or Dane skip, depending if you get a first try or not. This is using a physics exploit where you're going to see the runners line up fairly precisely on both the floor and looking at the wall, then crouching as the elevator goes down, and because of reasons, you can clip through. It is the lineup itself is relatively precise, but is known, so you can get that consistent. But actually getting clipped through is completely random. So if you get a first try, which base is actually counting, if you get a first try, that's called a Dane skip. If you get it second try or more, it's called Jerry skip. And if you get a first try, that is roughly a 30-35 second save.
Dude,
Jaio is bad.
I
I
am
can't even
current.
think of a proper base.
I'm-
He's counting.
At the start of this map, I was minus a minute 31. I am now
Yeah, I
chilling
can see where that
at.
time's going.
Yeah, I'm no longer minus a minute. Okay, I'm going to move a little bit forward and try this again.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah, I said completely random, and
Yay!
you got it. That's how we do.
Ah,
That can kill runs.
I lost
and
half.
halves.
I lost half of the time I saved just from that trick alone.
Let's go.
amen. Important to note,
And during
even
that,
though
Fridge
we
has
were
now
all
completed
watching,
1.5 other maps. Oh,
yeah.
man.
I mean, it's enough to really put a difference in that map. Of course, I'm not sure if anyone was watching. If you were watching Fridge's stream while we were talking about the amount of times Jaio was doing the Jerry skip, you'll notice that Fridge nearly seamlessly pulled off the challenge mode strat for laser chaining. It's difficult to do, and he's going to go for a faster route here in Jailbreak as well.
Challenge mode, as Base just said, is the individual level mode that is built into Portal 2 itself. And because it's individual levels, of course you can do more difficult and more risky strategies, as well as some stuff in Chapter 8 that we're going to see a lot later involving an excursion funnel. It's not no clip, that's all I'm going to say for now.
We'll get to it.
Just keep watching. So
I
yeah,
do wanna
individual
mention
levels is
that-
built into the game.
I do want to mention I golded that laser chaining by 4 seconds.
Holy
That's,
crap!
I feel like you have to delete that one.
We take those.
Nah, bro.
I'm going
I
to
do
delete
know
that
it.
for you.
S7 had a good route of it.
There you go. Is it like a 37?
36.
Please.
Good enough. And now, the end of Chapter 4 and the beginning of and most of Chapter 5 actually is not actually a test. It's called the Escape. Chapter 5 is called the Escape. You're going to see that pop up in just a bit. So this section is entirely movement based. If you're good at bunny hopping, you're going to be good at this part of the game.
If you look at the map that
This-
Fridge is currently on, the world record for that, the legendary, pretty much world record for that map was broken like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, shout out Jaithon.
The irony is you were almost at
I don't know, Jaithon, even for no particular reason, except for the fact that the Escape world record was recently beaten, I don't know, about an hour ago, by him in stunning fashion. Like, that is an incredible run, and it's still improvable.
Yeah, he said that
there's
his
still time to
start
be saved there.
his start of the map was really bad, while the end was really good. So
And what I do want to mention is you've seen on Fridge's side for the entire run, I believe, but now Jaio is also going to do at some point. This is a separate command called Full Bright. You're going to see it becomes bright. That was not entirely sure when it was instated, but 2019, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Around
that-
there, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that can. That is a custom command which you have bound to a key to disable shadows and make it easier to see. The reason we do that is because it depends on the monitor you're watching the game on. For me now, it is evening, dark outside, I can see the monitor, ignore these things. But for the 3 Americans, it's relatively light. If you have light on the screen, it is physically impossible for you to play the game.
Or if he's
So
just
that's
running on a
why-
bad screen in general, or watching through Twitch chat, because video encoding does not handle dark things well.
That as well. So it's just a quality of life thing. It is one button, and then we don't have any shadows. Doesn't affect the game in any way.
Yeah, looks like Frid's gonna have to reload a save from all the way back from downtown here.
Hate to see
Looks
it.
like gonna get that 180 reportal off though this time, so a little bit better on that front. Just unfortunately gonna miss that very last jump on that first go. By my count, of course, since this still is a race, I'm going to be updating everyone with like live counts or whatever. Right now, we're getting into the second half turret sabotage, and we're looking at about a 30-27 as we hit the stairs. And so we'll see exactly what Jaio ends up with at the end of the day. Of course, that Jerry skip kind of differentiated the two runners a little bit.
We were
course,
really
notably,
close RTA up until that Jerry skip.
Yeah, Jaio, of course. Again, I will remind you just for the sake of, I don't know, antagonizing him. Jaio took 14 tries to do the Jerry skip while Fridge took 5.
And there, on Fridge's side, you see the second pancake shot, not a seam shot. They're different. With this one, as opposed to earlier in the game, you are now physically closer to the door, so it is much easier to just spam click and then get through eventually. So that second one is actually a bit easier than the first one, just because you're physically closer, so technically you have a bigger area to shoot at. But it's still basically nothing. Now we enter a very fun part of the game called Cutscene City, because this map that Fridge is now on is cycle-based. So if you are at least okay at the game, you're going to get the exact same cycle every single time. And then after this map, we have a cutscene. After that, we have a 3-minute long map with 30 seconds of gameplay. And after that, another cutscene. So that is around 4 minutes of nothing. So if you have donations, please read them.
Yeah, if you have donations, please read them. If you have donations to give, please donate them.
So
that said, it is, during the speed game races, I like to take the moment during Cutscene City to focus attention on our later runners. But of course, we're not even that far apart, right? Jaio's, of course, running with the lights off, which maybe it's for effect. I don't know.
I was explaining Fullbot for a reason. Come on, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, we don't have any new donations in. We have raised a total of £250 though, so we're a third of a way to our actual final goal of the marathon, which is absolutely incredible. I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's donated. Don't forget as well that every donation of £5 or more gives you an entry to win that Xbox Live pass, I think it's a 2-month pass, if I remember correctly, for Xbox Live. So for every £5 or more donation that we get, that's one entry. So you can get more than one entry by donating more than once of £5 or more. So don't forget that, and you have to be in it to win it. As for the donations, of course, if you guys do want to donate, then please do so. It would be absolutely incredible if we could reach the final goal of the marathon. I really hope we can get there before Monday. That'd be absolutely incredible. And it really goes to an amazing cause. Everyone can really do a lot of work and they help a lot of people. So please, please, please do donate if you can. And of course, as the donations come in, I'll be out here reading them as well.
I accidentally shot the wrong portal in this moving it portals area, so I had to go back and reshoot it. I'm really tilted about that.
Yeah, this is not Final 2. You can't do that.
I'd be mad about that too.
And now actually these runners are quite close, so this is the most boring part of the game. It's called Cutscene City for a reason, as I just explained. Fridge did the first part of the actual movement, and now we have a cutscene. After this, we're gonna have 20 seconds, thereabouts, of movement, and then some dialogue. Then we're gonna have elevator skip, where we skip an elevator, because we're creative. I'm just going to explain now because I have literally nothing else to do. You're going to see, I believe it's on the left side of Fridge's screen. If you can point to that, thank you. Just to where the elevator is.
It's over there.
Yeah, sure.
You'll
I don't
see
know
it. An elevator comes out of the ground.
Yes, and because it comes up from the ground, there is a trigger on the ceiling, which you need to hit, and that triggers the lift to go back down. But with reasonable precise timing, we can jump on top of the lift as it's going up to manually hit the trigger and then fall down ourselves, saving, what's it, about 2 minutes or so?
It's about 2.5 over, well, 3.5 if you're like playing. If you were playing it casually, 2.5 if you were doing it fast, but with the default route.
So yeah.
And of course, again, you're just going to look at 2Runner kind of just sitting here for a little bit. So it's important for me to deliver a bit of a pace update at the moment. I saw. I'll see further in a little bit where Fridge is at right now. He's about on PB pace. By my judgment, at least from my understanding of his splits, he should be about -10, -11 right now. Which, I don't know if that's good or not. I don't know how his late game is. We'll see how his late game is and what happens down there. But for now, Fridge is green.
Yeah.
You were busy.
And Fridge doing the second part of the gameplay of this map, bunny hopping into a portal just to get a slight extra height to save just a couple seconds because there's a panel that pop up in your face. Is to skip that section going over it. And now elevator skip.
Or the McPedro glitch, as it was originally called when it was found back in 2012.
Fair enough.
Of course, named after the original finder of the glitch. There's a YouTube video somewhere. It might be unlisted these days, but
I feel pretty good.
it looks like that was a close one. But it looks like Fridge
Getting
pulled it
it
off.
right. Oh yeah, that trick is weird because that's unintended, obviously. So the game actually pushes you out slightly, so you do need to actually counteract that.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as it looks. It's not just W and scroll. Oh yeah, by the way, because of bunny hopping, we're going to use scroll wheel to jump, just so we can get frame perfect inputs.
Not so fast.
Stalemate resolved.
Also, this is something for the Portal 2 people, both in VC and in chat, but Madden did get a 58 just now.
It will.
He got a 58?
He got a 58-59.
Oh,
Let's do this, man.
That's how we do it.
let's go.
Madden is an incredibly high-level, individual level player, and also we're doing full game recently as well. 58 minutes, by the way, not seconds.
What's
Not
on
a
what for?
Not a way I've explained that, but whatever. The current world record, I believe by Angry Snack, is 57 minutes 42 seconds,
Yes.
I believe.
57-42 by Angry Snack.
Yes.
Was Madden doing his run just now, was he?
He finished his
he
run like
posted his,
5 minutes
he
ago.
posted
Alright.
his PB about 14 minutes ago.
Nice. Very good. Let's see if we get a 58 in this marathon, shall we?
No, we won't.
No
Sorry
pressure.
to spoil.
I think last
I
time I
believe,
checked,
I think it could happen. I think that's true.
unless you find an early 4 skip, that's not going to happen.
Hey,
Yeah.
you never know.
I might get
You
a.
never know,
like,
you
a
never know.
low
We know how it works. Jaio, are you
Marathon
stuck in the
luck.
elevator?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Just checking.
with this
Fuck.
elevator skip occasion, you can just get stuck in it, but because you're moving up, you're going to get shoved out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Loses.
I thought he was
All in
gonna,
one.
I thought he was gonna get the stuck where he just like shebangs all the way into the ceiling.
Oh, that one, that's happened. Yeah.
Oh look, it's gameplay. I love gameplay.
Oh, I hit the
Like-
side of the thing, so I didn't hit the trigger. So I lost a bunch more time.
I've done that as well, yeah. There's scaffolding inside of the tube as well, which you can stand on apparently.
I
Because
think I did that once. Right, like I went down the tube and I didn't look, and I went over to the piano to go play some tunes. And I didn't realize that I had stepped on the scaffolding, so I just kind of played piano for a minute and a half while my timer went.
I think I was on Twitter when doing this because this, of course, a cutscene. You have nothing else to do but look at your
Right.
phone. And since we now actually have gameplay to talk about, we have Underground.
It's underground. It's
Yeah.
called that because it is under the ground.
That is true. Yes, and we have a trick called Long Shot because it's a shot that is very, very far away. We're good at naming stuff, as I just said. This map is where a lot of people would also use the Fulbright command, just for ease of use, I suppose. And after this is Cave Johnson, which is, you may have heard of him due to the Lemon Rant, which I'm not going to say right now, which also we skip because it's fast. But that's in a few maps. Fridge, unfortunately failing that. Yeah, it's very easy to get. That's a mechanic we did not. Yeah, that's a mechanic we did not explain. Because you're obviously going fast. With air strafing, you can also go too fast. As Fridge said, you don't need to know what these numbers actually mean, but 175 is your walking speed. If you go above 300, you can no longer turn while in midair. If you're good enough at bunny hopping, you can consistently hit 300 fairly quickly. So you need to go fast, but not too fast.
All about that 298 again. What you're looking at right here on the further side of the screen is a reportal. Of course, getting it right there, but it's also a reportal added to a scripted momentum trigger. That is exactly what it says in the tin, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time because Repulsion Intro is where some of the interesting stuff happens. You're adding that 200 momentum boost to the scripted momentum, so you actually go over where it's supposed to be, hit that pipe, and ricochet directly into the door. What you're going to be seeing on Fridge's screen, if you want to pay attention to that side, you can look carefully and see that what he's about to do is a seam shot. Now, this is a corner of a wall, where you're not supposed to be able to do that, but it is the way that the wall is constructed and the way that it's put together literally in like the map editor that enables us to do that. Of course, it's more interesting later in the game. In fact, 3 maps from now. When we'll see another seam shot that's even more wildly precise than that.
Yeah, crazy.
But you are essentially shooting through a gap that you can't see, but that the game engine recognizes between 2 different kinds of brushes. And again, you don't need to know what those are, but the important thing is that when you put 2 of those together, 2 different kinds, you get this gap that you can shoot through. And you can't see it, and you don't know that it's there, but if you fiddle around enough, you can find it even just by looking.
So the first half of that map is pretty much completely skipped by just literally shooting through a wall, and the second half doesn't use any glitches. What is Fridge doing? The second half doesn't use any glitches.
I think he didn't think he hit that button.
Yeah, that can happen, because you need to hit the button. Hitting the button, and after that it's cycle-based, because those bombs fling at a cycle. This map is called Bomb Flings. Valve is good at naming stuff. So getting the button is as fast as you can, and then you're on a cycle. At least for the single player. No, for the individual levels. And then there's a slight dialogue, which you need to wait for after this.
Just a quick reminder for your calling cards for when you end. Jaio, yours is pie, so I want you to say pie, or someone to say pie when Jaio finishes.
Yep.
And Fridge, your calling thing is cake. So just shout cake when you finish.
Pie is untrustworthy.
If you look carefully here on Fridge's screen, you'll see him kind of staring at this wall. That's because he's trying to shoot through it. I mean, it's nuts that we can even do this. But, I mean, you see that, right? There's all this map that we're supposed to play, and we just totally did not play it. And the second thing that he's doing here is called a crouch toggle, if I'm not mistaken. Crouch toggle, crouch... yeah, crouch toggle.
There's no name for it, it's just...
something like that.
Toggling, I guess.
Yeah, crouch toggle makes sense. We have CTG as well.
Yeah, that's probably what I was thinking of. Anyway, what that does is essentially when you crouch in midair, your hitbox for a tick or 2 goes up and then it goes down again to center around you, but it gets smaller. So it removes a little bit from the top and it removes a little bit from the bottom. So what you're gonna see, and you're looking at that glass box, we can break it without the cube moving at all. With that hitbox detection, because it's like, oh, there's something touching the glass, then I'm just gonna break the glass box. because you're not, like, obviously they didn't really think of people abusing the hitbox to make it touch that glass box for just a second. So we move the cube just a little bit, and we touch the glass just a little bit. So that works just fine. Of course, the trick that you just saw Fridge do, you're going to see that glass clip right there on Jaio's screen. That trick that Fridge just did is the potato skip. That's about 90 seconds of plot that you don't need, because the potato just shows up on your gun anyway.
Oh yeah, GLaDOS has been turned into a potato because of Wheatley becoming evil, which we all skipped in Chapter 5 because it's fast. Don't worry about it.
Checked.
GLaDOS is a potato.
Yeah.
Good enough.
So, sorry you missed it. But yeah, the potato skip's gonna save us a little bit of time. Of course, there's a couple different ways of doing it. It's gonna be a little more, like, it was difficult for me when I was starting out, but it's actually a really useful way to complete that level, especially because, the potato shows up anyway. It's not gonna, change the fundamentals of the game when you don't go do it.
And
you'll see Jaio do that on that side of the screen.
And also one quick thing that Jaio just did is use the abuse of a portal helper.
Oh, yes.
To not shoot through a wall, but shoot through a wall. It's weird. I'll explain it. Portal helpers help you place portals. Valve is good at aiming stuff. So that you need to aim roughly into this area instead of exactly on that one spot. It's used a couple times throughout the entire game, but only useful in 2 points throughout the run. Because the portal helper is a sphere, and is very close to a wall, there's a very tiny bit of that sphere that is through the wall. So that you can shoot on the helper recognizes that, and then places the portal automatically for you behind the wall.
Caroline, are the compensation vouchers ready?
Yes, sir, Mr. Johnson. Boy, did I just...
Oh, it's conversion intro time. I love conversion intro. I love playing conversion intro. What you're seeing Fridge do on this screen right here.
Lovely.
It's also, yes, it's notable to note he's entering the triple kill. That's a colloquial name that
the map Fridge
made
is
up.
on now. Oops.
But it is this sequence of 3 maps that happens to be a little more difficult to aspiring runners. What he's going to be doing here is another of those super portals. Again, you're getting stuck in the wall and then utilizing that stuck. Oh, first try, look at you go.
We take those.
And utilizing that stuck to stack those reportal boosts we were talking about earlier. You need 14 of them to get up to that platform that Fridge just landed on. First try is pretty good, especially considering that, as far as I remember, the clip stuck there is pseudo RNG.
It's
like if you do it right, you do it right. But
relatively consistent, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
Yeah.
Getting that first try, of course, gamer move. I believe that entire thing saves roughly a minute, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely worth learning.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have a stuck launch. This is a trick where you get stuck and then you launch. It is literally between a prop and a hard place.
Yeah, you can watch the launch.
Yeah, you fall down between 2 angled surfaces, and then the game recognizes that you are falling down, so it adds speed to you. But the player hitbox stays still. So for that entire thing, you're holding W. Very nice work, man. First try as well. So for that entire stuck, you're holding W. Then once you let go of W, the game recognizes it. You have speed. I'm going to move you down. And then with blue bouncy gel, which we've seen throughout the rest of the chamber, or the rest of the chapter, you go down, bounce, and then go all the way back up, saving around another 2 minutes.
This is another super reportal on Fridge's end of the screen. Of course, getting it first try there, but unfortunately hitting that pipe.
Almost getting the backup as well. Getting that chip bounce.
That's that 2 bounce nonsense. Oh!
Ooh.
He has the height for it. He's just not getting there.
Third try. Close enough.
There you are. Of course, Jaio doing a different stuck launch setup. Again, you can see you get stuck, you hang out for a little bit, and then you launch. It is not as difficult as the word may seem.
You get stuck and then you launch. Simple as.
There
And also that super reportal that
Ooh,
so
that's
that
not
super
the right
reportal
portal,
that Fridge
my
did.
friend. You have to shoot the portal.
I do understand that.
My boy.
Yeah, did a thing.
There we go.
There it is.
Hey, you shoot the portal. Fantastic.
There you go.
By the way, you know how it took me 3 tries to get up?
Yeah.
That golded by 3 seconds still.
Wow.
Ha!
Manual bad.
Somehow. True.
Oh,
Someone
now
doesn't do
Fridge
portal
is
too.
Fridge is now in the first map of Chapter 8, and what's going to happen now is a trick called Cube Throw. So basically, you can explain Cube Throw.
Well, it's simple as this. You throw the cube.
Thank you, Base Driven. Fridge now throws the cube,
See?
and the door is
See
open.
that? You did
Yeah,
it.
you throw the cube. You move your mouse, you press E, and then you're done. That's how you win. Are you going to do test launch?
No.
Coward.
Test launch is a stupidly RNG trick that no one even does in challenge mode because it's stupid.
It's a stuck launch.
It's technically a stuck launch, but it's so you get stuck on the moving upwards platform and the door. It's dumb. It's RNG. It doesn't work.
So that is used in the individual levels for this because it's that one lift, and then like 2 minutes of basically a cutscene. So in individual levels, that saves, I believe, about 10 or 12 seconds, just skipping that elevator slowly moving up.
I think it's
14
12
if you
seconds
get
if you get it perfect.
It's 14.
It's roughly that. I've gotten it twice. Ever.
Oh, that's funny, is it? Oh, it's funny.
And another very small dialogue skip, which I believe you got, not entirely sure. Just a very small dialogue skip, because you might as well. Saves about a second, or a couple seconds.
50-43 out of test, which means actually I'm not going to tell him about his pace.
All the time.
It's either really good or really bad.
You know, it must be
Oh, now we have my absolute favorite part of the game. This is called Crouch Fly Glitch. It is a glitch whereby you can fly caused by crouching. We're good at naming stuff.
That's true.
It is literally just that. You go into a funnel, you press crouch.
Did you get
you
the dialogue there?
I did.
Hey!
Hey, nice. So Crouch Fly Glitch is you get into a funnel, completely stop to 0, press crouch, release crouch, go out of the funnel, and then you can fly. Because this game is perfect and has no bugs.
And also because when the game counts you and where you are, you technically have 2 hitboxes. One is for the player, and one is for your like physics model kind of situation. Now, when you go into that funnel, of course, your in-funnel count increases by 1. But when you crouch, that count again increases because your other hitbox just entered. And so when you leave that funnel, it's going to subtract that count by 1, just because that's what it's supposed to do. It never expected you to have 2 in that value. But because of that, we're left with the anti-gravity powers of a funnel while not being in a funnel. What you're seeing here is a standing crouch fly, meaning that you crouch and uncrouch, and then you have those anti-gravity powers. Again, because you're kind of fooling the game into thinking you're in a funnel. And this works
Portal
because
2 is perfectly balanced with no exploits.
yes. This is such because it's on a source funnel. That means it's not coming out of a portal. It's on the wall. And so you can keep that crouch flying state across maps. If you did a regular crouch fly, just off of something that came out of a portal, that portal would get erased as soon as you exited the level, and so that crouch fly status would go away. However, we're going to get rid of it here over on Fridge's screen just as he passes 53 minutes. Going to come across here and he can bunny hop again, just in time for us to hit Future Starter and Stop the Box.
Future Starter?
Not Future Funnel Catch? Wow.
That's in Chapter 1.
Yeah, I'm not...
How many hours do you have in this game? Anyway,
Too many.
Funnel Cat. This is a great shot where you shoot a grate.
Does anyone want to
There we
take a quick guess as to why they call it Funnel Catch?
Because you throw the cube.
That's
Oh,
true. And then it gets caught in the funnel. You know how it is.
It do be like that sometimes.
Jaio, you just gotta walk into it, my boy. Where did it go?
Where did it go? It disappeared. My man.
How he stand? Wait, no, wrong,
How
never mind.
he stand?
Why he cube?
It just went somewhere else.
Man,
It just.
I'm gonna guess it just went in the portal, but
It probably did
That's
just
weird.
get through the portal, but that's fun.
like something
Yeah, probably
portable
that
was
makes
behind the
sense.
wall. Great input, Lathel. I appreciate your helpful consideration.
Apparently, being civil is. It's not enough. If I'm such a moron, why can't you solve a simple test?
And on
Fred,
Fridge's
you
screen,
said you're going to go for laser plat CM.
Hmm?
What CM did you say that you're going to try and go for? What,
Laser
we're
chaining,
practicing?
which I got it perfectly.
Oh, that was like 4 chapters ago.
which happened half an hour ago.
I don't know why I expected you to do like a chapter 8 one. Oh no.
Oh yeah, chapter 8. As I said about half an hour ago now, because of individual levels on certain maps, you do not have the crouch fly glitch. So for chapter 8 and chapter 9, the individual levels can be very different than what you're going to see right now, which also means very, very, very difficult.
Ooh, close one on that ramp there. Of course, the only way you can go down while you're crouching and flying is through level geometry, and so you'll see, kind of ramping off that pipe there, or ramping off the slightly faster other pipe over there.
Don't mind me, just moving the
You can go down and hit this platform and get on the ground where you can control your velocity and your direction, etc., etc.
give us stronger results.
Yeah, and I was also talking about a speed cap of 300 speeds. That
Yes.
does still apply when in midair. So it's very, very easy to lose control when you have crouch fly glitch.
Yeah, you're stacking those air strafing numbers, and you will get to 300 very quickly. A lot of it is picking a straight line to go in and going as fast as you can in it. Going for
Very
first.
rarely
Your
would you-
portal's way too high, my guy.
Have a brainwave. I'm going to tape you solving these.
And now we actually have my personal favorite trick in the entire game coming up in, I believe, about 20 seconds, if Fridge can actually get this thing. There we go. We have a laser, we have a cube, and we can just kind of plop this on the edge of the portal to slightly shove it up, and then it works. That is my absolute favorite part of the entire game. I don't know why, but it's just dumb and I like it.
Aesthetically pleasing.
Can you get this, please?
When he does it,
Nice segue.
when the trick is completed properly.
Oh my goodness, there it is.
It was such a nice segue. Can you just do it first try?
Oh boy.
Oh,
The nerves
touched
are
the
starting
funnel.
to hit.
And
Uh,
This is my time to come back.
That's 2 times.
let's go. Yeah, because Frid still has crouch fly glitch, the only way to lose it is to enter a funnel. You want to enter it at the very end of this section. Also, you need to air strafe past a kill trigger, which kills you. Names. Which is it's more difficult than you think, honestly. It's a
Yeah.
very weirdly large trigger. Jaio, what are you doing?
I hit the funnel.
He's touching the funnel. He's having fun.
No.
I was doing a little bit of
Don't.
quirkiness,
Yeah, a little
a
bit,
little bit
of,
of silliness.
a
if
little,
you
little
will.
bit of busting it down. Y'all know how it is.
You Americans.
Hey, we like to party.
He does his little dancey dance.
Am I detecting anti-American discrimination in the voice channel?
We have
That's fine, carry on.
I was just gonna say, you're from Wales.
Whoa,
Am I finding anti-Welsh discrimination in the voice channel?
Hey, what are
No
you up to right
pro-Welsh,
now? What are
because-
I don't know.
Yeah.
Good question.
you just doing?
There's a reason I'm not showing my face now.
Oh, did I
Good
miss?
shot.
I missed it. I missed dialogue. Shoot.
Yeah, it's the high from the Americans.
Oh, it's because there's no. I'm dumb. Ignore me.
Here you are,
Yeah.
Dan. What have you done?
Wait, did you wait at the elevator?
For whatever reason, my brain was like, "Oh, there's a dialogue here that I gotta hit," but no,
Oh,
I didn't
yeah,
go into the
yeah.
funnel.
Oh yeah, the ending dialogue in this. There is actually an ending dialogue for this map, but it's so unreasonably long you can just go in immediately.
Throwing for content. That's what's
Well,
happening.
in some
Definitely.
cases, yes. If you aren't the fastest man alive, then you're gonna want to delay yourself so you can get the ending dialogue, because the elevator is longer than the ending dialogue, but not by much. So if you could be faster than the end dialogue would be over starting it, then you can enter immediately. You'll notice here we got the crouch fly. Again, this is going to be the last time we get it. Here in repulsion polarity, and you'll see Jaio do that on the screen in just a second. But what you're going to see here is we're going to keep that through finales 1, 2, and 3. There's 4 finales for some inexplicable reason. Right now, Fridge is heading into finale 1.
And also
they're long, they are difficult, especially for a casual player, but for speedrunners, they're a little easier because we can just fly right through them. Finale 1 actually is marginally slower than it would be if you did it casually, because the crouch fly glitch is fast, but it's not as fast as going on the faith plates that careen you all over the place. Really, where the major time save is going to come in is finale 2, where we can fly around the obstacles that we're given and skip a large portion of the level, and in finale 3, where we can do nearly exactly the same thing, just skipping a very large portion of the level where we need to be.
And also, this is the part where he kills you. I just want to say that.
That's true.
Yeah, I keep saying there's a certain speed cap of 300 speeds, but not important, really. But this final one is definitely one of the places you can easily hit it and easily not hit a trick because you're just going too fast. But getting that fairly quickly, now going into final 2. Yes, I say final, not finale. Fight me.
Yeah, no, you're good. It's like the French people.
Nice. And using this crash fly glitch to go to the side of a trigger instead of having to wait to place portals or whatever, because that's slow.
Yeah.
So that's part 1, and part 2 is just flying to the end.
Yeah, this is actually going to do an interesting strat here that I don't do because I think it's fun, but I think it's a little too fun for my liking. Like that's close, and it's cool, but it's close.
Yeah, now we're going to see the most important part of the game. Fridge, are you part of Lampstand Gang?
Yes. Turns out.
He is part of Lampstand Gang. Let's go, gamers. What Lampstand Gang is you stand on a lamp, which you just did right there. You can go to the ending section, final 3. And Jaio now doing exactly the same, because he's slow.
Well,
I had to reload a few times because it got speed locked.
Imagine.
I've done finale 2 enough times that I know where the stuff is. However, I have never actually played on a PC with an NVIDIA graphics card, so I don't know where the shadow is because it won't show me.
There's no visual lineup for that. You just
for those of you who are uninformed on that, for no inexplicable reason.
It's Valve.
Yeah, that's one of them.
That is the reason.
The game only shows you shadows if you're playing on an NVIDIA card. If you're playing on an AMD graphics card, you'll see, kind of the idea of where things should be, and you'll see better textures, and you won't get the little sparkly floor, I forget what the actual technical term for the effect is.
Sparkly floor.
Well, sparkly floor, yeah. It's something ending with trope.
No idea.
But,
while Base is doing that, I can now say that Fridge is in the last map of the game, Final 4, or Finale 4, and there is a small tradition with every Portal speedrunner, is to estimate the time you're going to get when the game finishes. Hence, at first you have a cutscene of around a minute, and then it is reasonably cycle-based. You can lose a couple seconds here and there, nothing major. So we have around 4 minutes, I believe, until the game's done.
Fridge does a quicker finale for us, so it'll be about, from now, maybe 2.5.
Oh, right. There's different ways of doing... There's a thing called Bomb Preserve, which preserves bombs. Nice. Because Wheatley shoots bombs at you, and what you can do, which is relatively difficult, is place your portals in precise locations to keep the bombs flying through the air, so that you don't need to wait for Wheatley to fire one at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, notable here, I normally I would speculate, but I can just ask, Fridge, are you doing double or single?
Double.
Ooh!
No, single. What the fuck?
Spicy. That's spicy.
Single.
Only doing single. Hate to see it. Double Bomb Preserve is the more difficult one. That would save, in total, I believe it's 30 seconds? I believe. And only single bomb preserve, as you may have guessed, preserves 15 seconds. And now we have Space Core.
That's true.
Also, Joe is playing Tetris because you have nothing else to do here.
I love playing Tetris. I know how it is.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Oh, what?
No bombs. No bombs. Just checked.
No
bombs.
No bombs.
No bombs.
The hitboxes on those protective shields are weird, let's say. It's Valve, just to put it that way. So that can happen to just hit a bomb and then it doesn't recognize because Valve.
I mean, one thing that's unfortunate is that that was on PB pace. If that
No, that totally wasn't. I wasn't gonna tell you, but that was definitely that was green.
Because I just looked at my splits, and this could be a 104.
Yeah.
Well, I have bombs. I got bombs.
He has bombs.
I have bombs.
He's got bombs.
Although I do not have
no
core. No core.
No core.
Oh. Then we have the final core on Fridge's side, the fact core.
Oh, a little far away on that one. Gonna get stuck inside there for a little bit.
Nice.
And the time's gonna come up here pretty quickly.
With one final trick. We can
Just
do a trick
remember
called
your
early...
calls,
Never mind, no
please,
bombs.
for times.
no bombs, no bombs. We quickly explain one further trick. We have a trick called early moonshot, where we shoot a moon early. Yeah. The very final scene of this game is the... Well, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
The ceiling crumbles down, and you see the moon. Left click, game ends. And then cutscene happens. But once you go into this room, also we can place portals on the floor because of reasons. The moon trick is activated, I believe, for about a 10th of a second. What is it?
Time, Kate.
And he got first.
503.
And
Yeah,
he got
that's
it.
wow. I would be mad about that right now.
I am mad.
I would be mad about that.
What'd you get?
I got a 10503.
Oh.
Wow.
No bombs.
Okay.
What?
GG Fridge.
For
Let's go.
context, Fridge's PB is a 104.51?
52.
52. And doing the bomb preserve successfully would have saved more time than the difference between here and that PB.
It still would have been tough because I messed up a little bit in Finale 4. So that would, if I got bomb preserve, it would have been a 104, like 56. But I was minus 30 and stopped the box, and I didn't even know. Huh?
Well, no, but remember, you preserved 0 bombs.
Yeah, you're right.
My guess is if you had pulled off double, that would have been about a 104.43-ish. And
Now Jaio was doing the same trick again. Did not get it first try.
ooh, gonna miss that shot a couple times. Gonna miss that shot a couple times. Here we go.
Oh.
Gonna miss it again.
Nope. Not second
Can
try.
we nail down a sub 107?
Yay.
We can.
Yay, pie, by the way.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pie. 106.48. In-game
Again,
time, by
completely
the way.
respectable.
Wait, those times are 105.03 and 106.48 are in-game times, so that's without loading times. I don't have the stream up yet to see what the actual time is, RTA.
RTA
Anyway.
is looking like a 108, 107.27 on Fridge's end and a 108.40-ish.
Both of those beat my PB.
48, 40, yeah.
So 107.27 for Fridge, 108.48 for Jaio.
Oh, exactly.
Both of
2
those
minutes of
beat PB.
loads.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Even RTA, I'm slower than that.
Wait, we got a
109.
PB. Hey, nice.
That's true.
Very nice. Right then, everybody. That is the Portal 2 race. Hey.
Jaio, make sure to end your game so that you don't copy strike things.
That's right. I'm unpaused.
For some
Yeah, he's
unbelievable reason, the ending music in a decade-year-old video game can get your stream copyright claimed.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, all right. It's fantastic, as always, to be here and playing the game, of course, here at this marathon. And here at any marathon, it's always good to be around. That said, my name has been Base Driven, the runners over here, That Fridge Fella and Jaio CG. You can find them at their respective Twitch links in that styling, of course. With me in the booth is Infrared. You can find him exactly there. And of course, this marathon helpfully put on by InstaSim, the 5th person in this voice chat.
The 5th person? Hey, hold on a minute.
Well, do you know how numbers work?
Well, I do know how numbers work, but I'm pretty sure I'm the first.
That's true.
He was the first one in here.
Alphabetically, I'm 5th, yes.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true, yeah.
The one that I didn't mention.
Okay.
The one doing all the work.
The one who does everything. Although I do have to shout out Razor Flamekin, he's helped out quite a lot in the moderation side of things in the background. So huge shout outs to Razor as well for helping with the moderation side. And a shout out to Damien as well, who's doing all the segues to the donation reads. So, you know, a shout out to all the InstaSpeedathon staff there. Anyway, thank you guys for the run. It was very nice to see a race, and a race that actually worked. Because obviously we didn't get a race yesterday as was originally planned. So congratulations to Fridge, you came first, Jaio came second, but at the end of the day, you both did great runs, and I'm sure you both, everyone's a winner when it comes to speedrunning. Races are just for fun. Anyway, everybody, don't forget we are doing this, of course, as a charity event for EveryoneCan. We've currently raised £250 to EveryoneCan. Now, I'm going to raise the goal by the end of the day to £300 now. So if we can get to £300 now before the end of today, that'd be absolutely incredible. The next run is actually one of my personal favourite games of all time. Probably can guess how it got into the InstaSpeedathon. So we're going to go over to Ratchet & Clank 3. NG plus no QE, no IMG is Ratchet & Clank 2 one. Ratchet & Clank 3, NG plus no quit exploit, which we are going to go over to now. That's going to be by Matthias4595. We're going to go over to that in about 10 minutes time, so hopefully you'll all be sticking around for that. That's going to be a really fun run to watch. I know that run quite well, and it is an absolutely amazing run to watch, so I highly recommend people watching that run because it is absolutely incredible. Don't forget as well that merch sales, that 50% of profits from any merch sales, either that's from the InstaSim store or from the eBay listings, 50% of the profits will go to EveryoneCan as well. And there's also international shipping available on mugs and coasters. So if you're not living in the United Kingdom, then you're not having to worry. We can ship to you as well. Do any of you have any final things you'd like to say before we finish?
Go hard, have fun, stay safe. Play games.
Trans rats are human rats.
Thanks for having us, man. It was a lot of fun.
No problem at all. Thank you guys for coming and commentating and running. So we'll see you again soon, hopefully.
See ya.
Bye.